Hi, everyone. Greetings from the studio here. It's hot there and smoky. A lot of fires. We got the smoke coming in from California still. We have our own fires not far away. And I'm generally inside now. It's kind of tough being outside. But there you go. Okay, here we are. And working on putting together some different projects coming up for myself and putting together some stretchers for some new interiors I'm looking forward to. So drawings that I'm getting back to, interiors, all that's going on. And got some courses coming up in September. Got the end of summer courses going on now, which are great. Got a new air conditioning unit, which is great. All right. I've got a couple of letters. I was thinking I was going to bring something else in, but there's a couple more letters in this from Katya Andreadakis that are just so great. So I want to read those, and hopefully it won't go on too long. They're beautiful. So I'm going to read them, and hopefully you'll like them. And it's great hearing from you all, I gotta say. It really makes a difference getting feedback from you. So feel free, please. The emails or the comments on the YouTube channel, very sweet. It's great. Okay. This is from Athens, so she's no longer in Venice at the exhibition. John. Titian, painter of flesh and guts, their rumblings and liquids, painter of hair and the tamed beast in man, painter of the skin as an entry or exit, like the shining surface of water for the diver, the surface to which he comes back after his dive, to the depths of the body and its hidden organs, comes back with the secret of a personality. Notice how much his portraits of gentlemen say about their inner life. Of course, flesh is not only feminine. If women throughout the centuries have remained desirable and you haven't grown tired of it, this is partly the result of the little lie, as old as the world, which proposes that all flesh is feminine. It's a pure convention, whereby men use the bodies of women to speak of their own passive desires, their desire to behave with abandon, to lie suppliant on a bed. Men have delegated to women this aspect of desire. The woman's body has become not only the object, but also the ambassador of masculine desire, or rather, simply of desire, regardless of gender. The skin of men, where it is soft, have you noticed, is softer than the skin of women. He was the painter of flesh, which commands rather than invites. Take me, drink me, it orders. He may have disguised himself for me as an old man or as a dog, but he also disguised himself in women. Titian as Mary Magdalene, as Aphrodite. And here I think we come close to something concerning his power. He wore the disguise of everything he painted. He was trying to be everywhere, competing with God. He wanted to create from his palette nothing less than life, and to rule over the universe. And his despair, the doubt you asked about, is that he couldn't, like Pan, be everything. He could only create pictorially and wear disguises. His fear was of being only a man, not a god as well, not a woman as well, not a forest as well, not a mist, not a lump of earth, being only a man. Danae's breast, so marvelous, so suggestive, and so impalpable, reveals at one and the same time all the limits and the triumph of his pictorial creation compared with God's. Katya. Love Katya. Here's some pictures. I'll put the picture. And the next one. I'll read you the next one. It's longer, but it's really good. John, this is also Athens. I don't know if I mentioned last. She's a film critic. John, what makes a body seduce you, or a written page absorb you till you drown in it, or a canvas live, move, speak, and radiate until it draws you into its own space is, in each case, their special way of being themselves, of being inseparable from themselves, of not giving a damn about the onlooker, of not waiting on anyone else, of being themselves as if they were alone in the world. Such a power to seduce has a stance which is practically that of scorn towards the spectator and towards all codes, manners, and measures. Every onlooker in face of such a power is, by definition, an intruder, somebody who has surprised something in a state of total intimacy with itself, in a state of both truth and transparency. What delights a man about the sensuality of a woman, whether or not it involves the act of love, is the way her gestures, intonations, her prescience derive from the depths of her being, from her childhood perhaps, from what she is in her own dreams, from how she may be when she is asleep alone. The man is overjoyed to have witnessed this. What I say about men may be true about women too, but I've more asked myself what it is that has delighted the man lying beside me than the other way around, to the point where it sometimes seems I know men better than I know myself. He has received a gift, or let's say he has had the nous to have taken in something which was private, buried, virgin. A woman after love is more like a baby, either one who is suckling or a crying one who has had the breast abruptly taken away. Each gesture of a woman is the sum of all her secret gestures, and a man's pleasure is being in on the secret. And the opposite? It seems to me that the woman's pleasure has more to do with her secret being discovered, with something in her which was buried and asleep being awakened. Maybe this is where Snow White, Sleeping Beauty, and other stories begin. Far more than a man, she is like the page which invites, the canvas which appeals. This is maybe why her body has so often been represented in art. Not just because most of the artists were men, but because here there is something essential in the relation between the sexes. The woman inseparable from herself, and the man looking over her, finding pleasure in her immediacy. There's nothing sexist or phallocratist in what I'm saying. I'm merely noting a fact which, for better or worse, belongs to a very ancient cultural tradition. Pictures by Rothko and Titian, but also by Courbet, possess this quality. They are completely themselves, that they contain all the vertical depth of their being. They exclude any reference to rule or obedience. Snapping their fingers at others, they simply exist with us or without us. We have an interest in discovering their secret and their inner truth, but they don't give a fuck. Tyrannical as they are, faithful only to themselves, inevitable. They owe their existence only to themselves, tautologically, a little like God. Hence, perhaps, the fatality of femme fatales. Titian here is the God behind God. His painting, like nature, has its own laws, delivers or doesn't deliver, its own unshakable secrets, so true to itself that it needs no justification, no explanation, no story. It's there in front of us, clear, enigmatic, as solid as a mass of irrefutable matter, a pure product of itself in all its verticality. Does this make any sense to you? I believe the success of a painting depends far less on any closeness to its model, to what it aims at and represents, than on its closeness to a self, to the self's memory and gaze and truth. A painting is like a canvas which radiates, a page which invites, a woman who glows. He's faithful to himself. He filters nothing. He must stick to his own perception and imagination and his own five senses. If he dams up nothing, his secret will be open on the surface of the canvas, and it's this, in all its nakedness, which will entice. If an artist is true to what lies deepest in him, like the coal at the bottom of a mine, his work invites. I'm sure of this, but I'm preaching some magic, a cult theory, whereby artists should ignore technique and everyone is really a potential Picasso. Far from it. Did I read that right? I'm sure of this, but I'm preaching some magic occult theory whereby artists should ignore technique and everyone is really a potential Picasso. Far from it. Simply, we are all capable of sensuality, aren't we? And a kind of inner transparency might make each of us more desirable. Here, and certainly in art, a certain savoir-faire is indispensable. The thing is to play with the techniques one has acquired, to re-become naive, to unlearn as well as learn. A cat is spellbinding by virtue of her natural grace alone. A ham actor turns you off with his tricks. Art attracts and sweeps away with its mastery, but its mastery put to the service of something naked, secret, true, virgin, never before seen, something which almost comes from a violation. And art does this involuntarily, can't do otherwise. It makes a hole in the paper, like you with your drawing of Bogenia. There are people who know how to live like that too. They learn, they quote, they consult, and all the while they stay in touch with their own essence. There remains something untreated and unconscious about them. When they listen, they are like wells. When they speak, they do so like fountains. When they move, it's like hearing a voice. And when they concentrate, shaving, or tightening a screw, copying a poem, they give off the same mystery as a priest does performing a liturgy. The old man I met was like this, and you are too. Here I give away the clue to our correspondence. To be intimate is to re-find in oneself that which is most hidden and private. Intimacy can also imply a marvelous, narrow relationship between two people. To be intimate is a way of listening to one's internal sense, of listening to one's own dialogue between the said and the unsaid. The second jubilant intimacy, the one which is occasionally shared, implies two listenings, two dialogues which overlap, couple. The late paintings of Titian are, I'm sure, the fruits of the first kind of intimacy. Show me, it's a challenge, a painting which is the fruit of the second kind. Is there one? In any case, for Titian, rain god or Prometheus, for Titian, the man of power, the intimacy feeding his art was bound to be of the first kind. Through it, he remained marvelously in contact with his own truth. To put it differently, my argument is that such intimacy is the sine qua non for any invitation, whether it concerns art or bodies or probably souls. And without the first, intimacy with oneself, no other is possible. Love, Katya. Woo! That's a lot. There you go. I'll include a PDF of the stents. There's a lot there. Anyway, there you go. Hope you're all well. That whole thing about the painting, the Rothko, just not giving a damn, just being itself, fully, deeply, truthfully. Wow, I mean, that really has to paint that. How do you be it? All right. Take care. Be well. Keep painting. Keep drawing. Keep making stuff. I'm gonna go turn the AC back on. Bye bye.